Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we are going to see State Board Class 8 Subject Science, Chapter number 12, Introduction to Acid and Base. In our day-to-day life, we consume different food items or the different fruits, vegetables, different salt, different things we are eating, and this all are having a different taste. Their taste is not similar. Why they have this different taste? Why something is very sweet, something is sour in a taste, something is bitter in a taste, something is tasteless? So different taste. Why this different foodstuffs or the food items, they have a different taste? So the answer for this particular question we are going to search in this particular chapter. We will learn in this particular chapter when we will study Introduction to Acid and Base. Our day-to-day life is surrounded or covered with a number of food items. And these different items are having a different chemical components within themselves. And due to that, they have a different taste in a nature. Now, the entire chemical world, if we are talking about, majorly we can classify them in a three different category, that is the acid, base and salt. So in this year's science, we are going to talk about acid and base, the basic part about the acid and base, what actually they are and what the different characters they have and how we can make a difference between them. So first we will go towards the acid. You will notice some of the substances or some of the food items, when we eat them, we feel a bitterness. And some are sour in a taste, some are sweet in a taste. So in this, when we talk about the acid, you can see here the lemon, tamarind, vinegar or amla like substances acquire sour taste due to the presence of a typical compound in themselves, and that typical compound which is present inside them is nothing but the acid. Such compounds imparting sour taste are called acids. Acids are soluble in water and they are corrosive in nature. Animals and plants also possess acids in them. So in their bodies, the plants and animals, in them also we have the different kind of the acids. Acids present in our foodstuffs are called natural acids or carbonic acid. These acids, being weak in nature, are called weak acids. So they are weak in a nature, and that's why they are called as the weak acids. And some acids are strong in nature. They are caustic or inflammatory. For example, sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, so nitric acid. These are the strong acids we have, and they are called as the strong acids or the caustic acids. These acids are also called mineral acids. The skin gets burned when their concentrated solution falls on the skin or on the body. And same way, similarly, their vapors, if inhaled, can be harmful to the health. The strong concentrated acids are converted into their dilute acids by slowly adding them into water. Such dilute acids are less harmful than their corresponding strong acids. On the other hand, when the baking soda, if you are testing, if you are taking a baking soda and just diluting in a water, and then when you are drinking it, you feel a different kind of a taste, and that is nothing but the bitter taste or the astringent. Now this lime water, baking soda, caustic soda, these all are nothing but the base in a nature, and bases are completely different from the acids. If you will compare their characteristics, the bases are almost or just opposite to the property of the acids, or they're just opposite of that of the acids. Now the chemical properties, as just now we have discussed, they are opposite to each other for the acid and bases. They are also inflammatory to skin in their concentrated form. We know that the distilled water is tasteless. Water is neither acidic nor basic. On the other hand, to identify, now if we know that some of the chemicals are the acid and some of the chemicals are base, then how to identify which one is acid, which one is a base? So for that we have different category of the chemicals which is used to identify or to distinguish between acids and base, and they are called as the indicators. The substances which are neither acidic nor basic and are chemically inert in nature, touching or testing of acid or base is very harmful, and hence typical indicators are used to recognize them. Because just now we talked about when this acid or the base, if they are strong and they comes in a contact with the human body, whether by skin or by inhaling their vapors, it's very harmful. So we cannot have a test directly, so we need indicators to identify which one is acid and which one is a base. The substance which change their colors in presence of acid or base are called indicators. Indicators in a laboratory, with different kind of indicators we are using in the laboratory. Some of them are blue litmus paper and the red litmus paper. When we dip this different kind of or the strip like a papers into this particular solutions, whether acid or base, they changes their color accordingly, and with the help of that we can talk about the nature of the given sample or the solution. Another we have like a phenolphthalein, methyl orange, methyl red. These are the solutions which are used in the laboratory for the identification of the nature of the given sample of solution. Even the universal indicator is also there. Universal indicator which are in liquid state change their color in presence of acid and base. You can see here they have given methyl orange, phenolphthalein and the methyl red. So these are the indicators used. Now here, how these indicators are helpful in identifying the different solutions or the samples. Now the name of the indicator they have given: litmus paper, blue and red is available, methyl orange is orange in color, phenolphthalein is a colorless, methyl red is red in color. And which kind of a color changes they are giving. When we talk about the litmus paper, if we are taking a blue litmus paper, then in the acid that blue color will turn to red, but in alkali or the base it remains the same. This alkali is nothing but the basic solution or the base. And the litmus paper, the red litmus paper, if we are talking about, it will remain red in the acid, but it will turn to blue in a alkali or the base. Same way when we talk about the methyl orange, which is originally orange in color, when it reacts with the acid or when it is mixed in acid, it turns to a pink color, or turns, that solution turns to the pink color, and the basic solution turns to yellow color. Phenolphthalein remains colorless in the acid and it turns pink when it reacts with the base. And the methyl red is a red in a color and it turns to yellow in a basic solution. Now, this is about the in a laboratory what we are using. In our day-to-day life also, we have a different indicators which we call as a domestic indicator. When this laboratory solutions are not available, we can use domestic indicators. What those domestic indicators are there? Like a turmeric we have, then the cabbage, radish, tomato, hibiscus and the rose. These two flowers are also used for making the domestic indicators. So these are the indicators which are available at our home, and we call them as the natural indicators. These are the natural indicators. You might have observed that the yellow food stain turning red when we wash with soap. Why this is happening? Because that yellow color of a turmeric and the soap is having a basic solution. So when it reacts, it produces a red color. So like that, different types of the or different examples we have of a domestic indicator which is used to identify the different substances. Now here they have given a one table, put some drops of, so this is an activity actually when the school will begin, that time we can perform this particular activity and get the result for it. Further, they have given some more information regarding this and some more activities they have given which we can perform in a laboratory and we can get the particular result. So this we can talk about later when the school reopens. That time we will discuss about all these things. Let's go towards the examples of the some of the acids which is available in our surrounding, or the substance which we are eating, in that which acid we have. So vinegar contains acetic acid, orange contains citric acid, tamarind contains tartaric acid, tomato contains oxalic acid, curd contains lactic acid, and the lemon contains citric acid. All the citrus fruits, sweet lime, lemon, orange, they all contains a citric acid. So this is about the acids. Another part is for the acids when we talk about, when it dissociates. Dissociates means when we make it a dilute solution of it and the ions are separated, then there you will have H plus ion. Acids on dissociation are almost in all cases they give H plus ion as one of the component after dissociation. Now let's go towards the properties of the acids now. Properties of acids. Acids are sour in a test. Acid molecules contain hydrogen ion, that is H plus, as a main constituent. Acid reacts with metal to form hydrogen gas. Acid reacts with the carbonates and liberates carbon dioxide gas. And blue litmus turns red in acid. Further is uses of acids, where we are using. Acids are used in the production of the chemicals like fertilizers. Acids are used in the production of explosives, oil purification, medicines, dyes, and paints. Hydrochloric acids is used for the preparation of different types of chloride salts. Dilute sulfuric acid or the H2SO4 is used in the batteries. Then dilute hydrochloric acid is used for sterilization of water. Acid is used for making of white paper from wood pulp. Now the concentrated acids and causticity of acid. Dissolution of concentrated H2SO4 or the sulfuric acid in water generates large amount of heat. Therefore, for dilution of a concentrated acid, it is slowly added to water. What happens when we dilute sulfuric acid? It generates a large amount of heat. So what exactly we are doing? We are slowly adding that acid into water. Never add water in concentrated sulfuric acid because that produces a huge amount of heat. So we are doing it in a reverse way. Acid we are adding in a water. It will produce enormous heat and cause explosion. Alkalis like sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide are strong and caustic in nature. Their concentrated solution burns skin as it decomposes the proteins in skin. So for that also we have to be very careful. It's not only the acids, even the bases are also harmful to the body. We have seen that mineral acids are harmful to body. However, several organic acids are present in our body and in plants which are useful to us. DNA, that is the deoxyribonucleic acid, is an acid present in our body besides heredity property. DNA already we have studied. Proteins which are part of our body cell are made up of amino acids. Fat of our body is formed by fatty acids. So this is all about the acids what we have under this particular chapter. In a coming video we are going to talk about the base or the alkali.